When I caught the HOA secretly selling 1,700 acres of my family's generational farmland, I decided to remind them who controls their water supply. What would you do if your neighbors tried to steal everything you've built? Comment below where you're watching from. The morning was crisp, perfect for planting. I was on my tractor before dawn, just like my great-grandfather taught me. My family's 2,000-acre farm has been in our hands since 1890, and spring planting waits for no one. My phone buzzed repeatedly, but I ignored it. Nothing mattered more than these seeds. At lunch, I checked my messages and nearly choked. 8 missed calls, 2 voicemails from my cousin, and an email from the Pinewood Estates HOA titled, "Violation Notice." They claimed my tractor noise and livestock odors violated their peaceful enjoyment laws, demanding I stop farming within 500 feet of their property, or face a $250 daily fine. I laughed. Their subdivision was barely a year old. My farm predated their existence by a century. I crumpled the letter and tossed it. The next day, a sharp knock woke me. A woman in a tailored suit stood on my porch, flanked by 2 men in Pinewood Estates polos. "Mr. Carter, I'm Linda Hayes, Pinewood HOA president," she said, clutching a clipboard. "We need to address your violations." I leaned against the doorframe. "You have no authority over my land." Linda's smile was icy. "Your agricultural exemption lapsed last year. Your property falls under our community standards now, per County Code 47.2. That stopped me cold. My tax bills hadn't changed. "We've farmed here for over 100 years," I said. "No HOA can claim my land." Linda handed me a cease and desist notice. "Standards change, Mr. Carter. Our residents paid for protected property values." My cousin Ben called later. He lived in Pinewood and sat on the town council. "They've been plotting this for months," he whispered. "Linda's meeting with developers in secret and altering records." That night, I confirmed my exemption was valid for 4 more years. Linda had lied. Over the next week, I ignored their escalating threats. Then came noise complaints to the sheriff, my old friend Tim. "They're filing daily, Luke," he said. "They're calling your farm a public nuisance." I was stunned. "Tim, my family's fed this county forever. What's happening?" He leaned in. There was a closed-door meeting, county officials, developers, and the HOA. "They're pushing a big project." Days later, I spotted strangers in suits surveying my eastern fields. I confronted them. "You're trespassing." A man in a crisp suit extended his hand. "Paul Reed, Horizon Development. We're planning Oakwood Plaza and condos." My blood ran cold. "This is my farm." He showed me digital documents. 1,700 acres sold by Pinewood Estates to Horizon 3 weeks ago, with county stamps and my forged signature. "There's a mistake," I stammered. "No mistake," Paul said. "Contact Pinewood." At the county recorder's office, the clerk confirmed my worst fears. 1,700 acres were transferred to Pinewood's trust, leaving me with only my house and 300 acres. The documents bore my signature forged. I stared out my window as Linda's SUV idled nearby. She waved smugly. Bulldozers were coming in 4 weeks. I had to act fast. Digging through my great-grandfather's records, I found a 1923 water rights agreement. Our family controlled the valley's water supply, including Pinewood's, with agricultural use prioritized. The main junction was on my remaining 300 acres. I called my lawyer, Sarah Mitchell. "They stole your land," she said, "but you control their water." I smiled. "They started this. I'll finish it." The next morning, bulldozers tore into my fields. Linda arrived, snapping photos. "Progress waits for no one," she sneered. "Pinewood Heights will be illit, mansions starting at 8 figures." I clenched my fists as she splashed mud on my boots. That night, I redirected the water to my 300 acres. By noon the next day, Pinewood's taps ran dry. My phone exploded with angry calls. Linda screamed through the line. "What did you do?" I replied calmly. "I exercised my legal water rights." "You need food?" "I need my land." She offered compensation. "Return my acres," I said, hanging up. Sheriff Tim arrived with a news van. I showed him the water rights and forged deeds. Reporter Emily Chin seized the story. "Tell us about the HOA stealing your land," she said. I laid it all out: fraud, kickbacks, destruction. By evening, Pinewood's emergency meeting was chaos. Developers halted construction, threatening to sue. At midnight, Linda appeared at my door, makeup streaked. "Turn the water back on," she begged. "Kids, elderly, they're suffering." I crossed my arms. "Give me my land." She offered a meeting. "Tomorrow, 9 a.m., I said. "Bring the developers and those fake documents." In court, Pinewood's side oozed confidence. Linda smirked as her lawyer presented legal sale papers. Sarah countered with aerial photos of my farm since the 1940s and the 1923 water rights map. Gasps echoed when she revealed bank records. 5 HOA members, including Linda, received deposits matching 2% of the sale price. The courtroom erupted. "These are forged," Sarah declared, presenting expert analyses. Linda's face drained of color. The judge issued an injunction, halting development and ordering a fraud investigation. Linda slumped, defeated. Outside, the developer's VP approached. "We were misled," he said. "We'll sue Pinewood, but let's work together." I proposed a deal: 50 acres for a farming hub and education center, benefiting all. He agreed. Linda stormed past, hissing, "This isn't over. My brother's a senator." I smiled. "Save it for your fraud defense." 6 months later, my 1,700 acres were restored. The fake sale was voided, and Linda faced charges. She sold her mansion after a divorce. Ben became the HOA president, and new bylaws protected farming. We built a farmers' market and hosted a harvest festival, uniting farmers and Pinewood residents. Kids from both sides laughed in a corn maze, and families shared cider. The farming hub thrived, creating jobs. Standing in my fields, I watched my son teach a Pinewood team to drive a tractor. My wife squeezed my hand. "We didn't just win," I said. "We showed them why this land matters." Linda drives by sometimes, glaring. She lost everything. We gained a stronger community. What do you think? Was my water shutoff a fair move, or did it go too far? Share your thoughts below. Let's debate. How would you handle a neighbor's betrayal? Comment and let's keep this conversation going.